Thanks for inviting me, Al. I thought met about a month or so ago at the Garfield Ridge Chamber of Commerce breakfast, and I was wondering when you guys were going to get active again. You said your meeting was coming up, and I said I definitely want to be here. I think I came to the first one last year that you had, and I remember we were all in short sleeves, and it was, the kids were all playing in the park, and it was a wonderful day. And just a year later, we're back to normal weather for this time of year, so which is good too, because it's actually helped the crime on a citywide basis and in the district. But primarily why I wanted to come to this organization, and especially their first meeting, is just out of a sense of deep gratitude, just to say thank you. I know you are always saying thank you to the police, but we truly appreciate this organization, this group, this neighborhood. The police, when they work here, they not only feel welcomed, they feel part of this community, and they feel truly like they're partners. And that's because of a group and organization like this and the people in this room. So that was the first thing I wanted to say. I just wanted to say thank you. Second thing is I want to look at what's going on in the neighborhood and just kind of give you a recap from last year. I know you heard some of the numbers, but I kind of looked at our website, and I just want to look over 2012 versus 2011. The serious crimes, the Part 1 crimes, we call them index crimes. They range from murder all the way to murder, robbery, criminal sexual assault, theft, motor vehicle theft, the big crimes, kidnapping, treason, I think, is in there. We had 918 crimes last year in Garfield Ridge, and it's the whole community. From, I believe it's one of the K streets, is it Kilpatrick on the east end, all the way to Harlem, and you know the boundaries of Garfield Ridge. Anyways, there was 918 reported crimes. In 2011, there was 988. So there was a reduction of 70 crimes, or a reduction of 7.1%. One of the happy things, is one of the biggest crimes as far as index crimes, is burglary. Garfield Ridge was down 29.8% in burglary last year, which is a huge number. 285 reported in 2011 and 200 in 2012. And I know that's the featured crime. So far this year, very stable with crime. We're down just 10 reported incidents. I looked from January 1st to March 17th. There was 174 reported crimes in 2012, 164 reported crimes here in 2013, so just down 10. In 2011, same time frame, 170. So it really shows there's stability as far as what the crime picture is in this neighborhood. Burglaries so far this year, there was 38. That's the big crime for this neighborhood. 44 last year, so a slight reduction of 6. 2011 there was 37, so we're up 1 from 2011. So we're really kind of where we've been in the past with that. Kind of broke it down on where these burglaries are occurring. 16 of them were garage burglaries out of the 38. 15 were at a family home. 4 was in an apartment. 1 was at another location, I don't know what that specified, and 1 was a restaurant. We've also made so far five arrests for burglary on the beat so far this year. So pretty stable. One crime that is up, and you may have seen some things in the paper recently, is motor vehicle theft. We had 26 in Garfield Ridge so far this year. We had 20 last year. So an increase of 6 or 30%. You guys may have realized or may have heard, I don't know, that we've had, or we're suspecting, and we're through our investigations, which have proven to be true, that we have tow truck drivers, irreputable tow truck drivers. This is on a citywide basis. That are actually taking cars, bringing them to salvage yards and crushing them, and getting money for them. Okay. The school buses. The school buses kind of proved our theory correct right there. Yeah, when they drive school buses there. It's something that we've been talking about here in the district, not only in the 8th district, but the 9th, 10th district, the neighboring districts. And we have been doing, stepped up our enforcement on tow trucks, and we've seen automatically some of our motor vehicle theft numbers come down. Can't prove that they were taking all these, because if they crush the car, we can't find the car. But that was another tell that this is what's going on, because many of our cars get recovered in short order. A lot of them just simply weren't recovered, so what was happening with them? So something that was kind of a new phenomenon. It may have affected us here in Garfield Ridge somewhat. Other parts of the district, definitely. I didn't want to spend the whole time with numbers. I do want to take a few questions. But I do want to say one thing. You were talking about the website, and it's something, I don't know if any of you guys look at the Chicago Tribune's website at all, their breaking news. You guys familiar with that? Well, there's an icon that you can click on called Crime in Chicago, if you go to that website, and it actually breaks down crimes by neighborhood. It's really, really interesting. And you can pull up Garfield Ridge, and what's really interesting about it is it compares you on a crime rate per 100,000, which is the normal way to see how well you're doing. And it actually ranks you out of the 76 neighborhoods in the city of Chicago. It'll rank where you're at, comparatively speaking. So if you want to know, well, how is Garfield Ridge doing compared to Lincoln Park or, you know, or Englewood, or name a neighborhood city, you know, neighborhood community in the city. Well, I'm just saying, you can do that type of comparative analysis. And I think, and by the way, all the data is right from the Chicago Police Department's crime. So it's the same numbers that I'm talking about when I told you today. They're pulling that same data.
Fact.
And there's actually, what?
It is fact.
Yes, it's good data. And it actually shows a map of the neighborhood, and you can actually kind of zero in on your block, and it'll put dots on where the latest crimes are. So it kind of takes the mystery out of it, how we're doing. And I looked at it. The neighborhood's doing well. I mean, comparatively speaking. Violent crime is the one that we really look at first. You know, like any organization, you prioritize. You do a little triage on how you're going to apply resources. We protect life and we protect property. So we devote resources to first protect life. We don't want people getting shot, killed. We don't want women getting raped on the street. We don't want people getting stuck up with robberies, okay? That's the number one priority. Then protection of property, okay? Burglaries, thefts, etc. So if you look at violent crime, this neighborhood has the same crime rate as Clearing, no surprise there, right? Mount Greenwood, North Center, which is an area, I believe, by Lincoln and Lawrence, Bridgeport, and Lincoln Park. And you rank second in the city. And this was in the last 28 days. It's pretty interesting stuff. The communities that rank ahead of you are Burnside. That's somewhere on the south side, isn't it? Burnside. Norwood Park, Forest Glen, and Edison Park. And the only reason they rank number one is in the last 28 days they had no reported violent crimes at all. So they didn't have a robbery, they didn't have anything like that. You're only in second place because I think you had one with Lincoln Park, Clearing, Mount Greenwood. So that's good. So that tells you the last 28 days. It's something that maybe you guys could put on a link. So if you want to look at this, I can just give this to you. And I don't want to tout another, you know, newspaper's product, but I do think it has value, especially for the Garfield Ridge. It breaks it down by neighborhood. So just thought I'd throw that out there.
Thank you.
And again, it breaks it down into three categories: violent crime, property crime, and they call it quality of life. And I'll just caution you on the quality of life. It'll look like Garfield Ridge is doing not as good as you would think, only because one of the categories is narcotics. And the officers that work this beat, they actually are very proactive in stopping people, primarily cannabis, right, for the most part, but they make the arrest, and that counts as a reported offense. So we actually inflate the numbers that are happening here from the good proactive police work that they're doing. So there's a little bit of an explanation. But check it out, see if it's worth any value to you at all. And Al, you want me to take a few questions, right? I don't want to take the whole meeting because I know you got other things going on, but please. Yes.
I'm the court advocate, and the last case I did go to was, I think, the 14th, and it was for somebody with a tow truck.
Mm-hmm.
He hauled away a 1995 Jeep Cherokee. The owner saw it. No, it was a lady across the street. You know how they say, be a nosy neighbor? Nosy neighbor called 911. They caught the guy 2 blocks away. He went to court. The judge put him on an ankle bracelet. I want to say the stupid guy goes out in his tow truck Of course, he's picked up, and he's got 30 grams of cannabis in the truck.
Oh, well.
They got him.
We get to impound the truck then, too. That's the good news about that. Good. Yes, sir.
How do you live in the neighborhood or?
No, I don't. I live at the other end of the city, actually. So I live about the same distance west and the same distance north, just on the opposite end of the city. So if I go down, actually, I would be like by Melvina, 5800 north. So 58. So I'd be in this neighborhood. Oh no, yeah, it would be. Yeah, 5900 is the yeah. So I'd be on the Garfield Bridge on the north side. I'm North Garfield Bridge.
And I had a question from somebody who's not in this room tonight, but they did ask me to ask you. Lately, for the last few years, beat 811 was supposed to stay in its beat. They weren't supposed to be pulling them.
Right.
But lately they've been doing school crossings. We're getting pulled into beat 812 to do school crossings.
Okay.
Any particular reason on why?
You know, I don't know, to tell you the truth. I'll have to find out. Mike, is that true? You're
Not
here.
811, right, 12 beat.
Yeah.
813 beat, I'm getting pulled to 57 from Pulaski, but that's part of my beat.
Well, he had told
Okay.
me that this morning, I think it was, I'm gonna guess, hit or miss 10 minutes, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, he was pulled onto 812's beat at St. Sims, 62nd in Austin, or 62nd?
I been there for 15 minutes, but that's about it.
Yeah, you know, that's the first I'm hearing of it. I'll find out.
I'm just curious.
We want to keep 811 and 812 on their beat as much as possible. We want them to work together, so if something, you know,
Absolutely.
they're gonna have lunch, they're gonna break, something like that, we want them, that's the whole idea, because really, we'll leave the whole beat, we'll have a large section of our district bare without that. So
Right.
minimum, we want to do that. The other thing is we want to have rapids on all 3 watches. Usually we get them up on, definitely on 2 watches, and at least some 10-sector rapids to supplement that as well. So I'll look into it, but it's the first time actually hearing of it. It's not.
He just asked me to ask, I have no idea.
No, it's fine. Yeah, that shouldn't be a policy, and I'll look into it. Yeah.
I have a question. There's a building on 6607 Archer. It seems that it's a commercial property that's having illegal parties there on the weekends. How can they get away with that without having like a liquor license?
Yeah. You know what, you're absolutely right. So I was just made aware of it prior to the meeting, so we're gonna go and do an investigation. There's a lot of things we can do and be proactive. If we do in fact know that's happening, we can get what is called cease and desist order. We'll serve it on the people in there. If they go in there, it gives us right to lock them up.
Would you be able to contact the owner of the building?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna, we'll start off that way.
Because it seems like...
Bring the owner in, talk to him, say, hey, this is what's going on. Well, we first got to investigate. There's probably calls for service I'm not aware of right now, but I'm sure people have called the police. We'll check into those calls, and we'll see what's going on with it. Now, have you guys heard of this before, 6607?
Heard about it, like last
We
week.
went by
Okay.
this last Friday, it was the Friday before this last one.
Okay.
We went by this last Friday and it was just the regular barber shop stuff.
Okay. Well, you know, what'll happen with these type of places, it'll be a hit or miss proposition. And a lot of times, these officers work till, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. It'll happen later. It'll happen during the first watch. So it's something we have to keep really, really a close look on. I've dealt with social clubs or these type of things that pop up, that they'll start at 4 or 5 in the morning because the bars that are stuck, you know, they can't sell at 4 or 5. These places will start at 4 or 5. So,
How can they do that without a liquor license?
well, they can't, and that's why, but it's like anything else, you first hear about it, you know, you get some reports, you gotta investigate. We're at the baby stages. We gotta get in there, investigate, find out what the issues are, see who's calling the police, knock on the neighbor's door. If you see something going on, please call us so we can get out there, because a lot of times, they're getting away with it, no one's calling, it's not enough going on. Who knows, we gotta investigate. So, we took down the address right prior to the meeting, so.
So if we see a lot of cars in that area...
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah,
you know
give
we're
us-
not there, then everybody should just call.
Absolutely. Give us a call, and that's what generates something going on. And actually, it helps us build, ask for that cease and desist order. There's been 27 calls for service. We've made contact cards. We interviewed people coming out. Yes, I bought beer there. So we could prove, by not just saying we heard about it, we can actually prove from calls for service, interviews, investigations that we've done, that this thing's out of line and that we can take some legal recourse. like anything else, you guys know it, it didn't happen if we didn't put it down on paper. So we gotta get it down and do some investigations. I'll go to, you're next.
But if they're not selling liquor, let's say they're just bringing their own liquor in, do they need to?
Well, again, let's see what's going on. I mean, you know, you can have a private party, you know, a bunch of people getting together, but let's see where is it a private residence? Is it a hall? Well, then, okay, then you need, is it zoned properly? There's a whole, we gotta do a lot of checking here, okay? If people came to my house every weekend because I just want to have a party, I can do that, okay? Okay, but if I have you know, a big hall and I'm having people come in and say, I just want to do this, no, you can't do that. There's different things you can do on different pieces of property. Yep.
I'm the owner of the building next door to the
Oh.
property.
There we go. Now we got
I've been there for about 5 years, and I see what's going on, but to curb the problem, if we could put some,
well, what's going on? Before we,
a lot of late night
All right.
after hours.
Okay.
I don't know what's actually going on, but
do you know the owner?
no, I don't
Okay.
know the owner.
And how long have you been there?
5 years.
And you don't know who the owner is, huh?
No,
Kidding.
he rents from whoever owns that building.
Okay.
But if we could put up like 25-minute parking along Nashville.
Well, again, before we even start doing that, let's just find out what they're doing and have them stop, so the cars don't even have to come there where they don't park.
Yeah, because they park for hours.
Right, so let's just find out exactly what they're doing. If you see something going on, a lot of people coming in and out, call us. And then we'll come out and we'll take a look at it, definitely, okay? Yeah, before we even go to start all these other remedies, let's go with, we got a whole things in our toolbox that we can use before we get to that.
Several of our members have brought it up to our attention, like sent it in their reports that there's something going on there, but I encourage them to call 911, but whether they do it or not is out of my hands.
And
Okay.
Dave, I have the owner's information, I'm gonna email it to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll get on it. That
Awesome.
shouldn't be that difficult
Nip it in
to
the
rein
bud
in. It
now.
takes a little bit of time, but again, calling us, it builds a record, yeah. The 911 call. Yep,
I just have a simple question.
sure.
What are the curfew hours?
Oh, curfews, yeah.
Because there seems to be a lot of different times that kids are saying their curfews at 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Sunday to Thursday, you gotta be home by 10 o'clock, okay? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's 11 o'clock.
Friday and Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday, yeah, thank you. Jeez,
Don't mean
I'm
to
right on.
correct you.
It's 11 o'clock. Now, I think there's something for under 12, right?
Just a piggyback.
Under 12, it's 8 o'clock, and oh geez,
Is this for 17 and under?
yeah, 16. and under.
17.
17 is the curfew?
17 now.
It's under
That's
7.
under 17 and under.
Under,
17 and under?
Yeah.
you mean 17?
17 and under now.
Jesus.
Good.
So when they're 18, they have no curfew?
Correct.
Okay, now if they are in a vehicle with an 18-year-old,
They're fine.
they're fine?
Yes.
A
There's
17-year-old?
certain parameters, like if they're coming home from work
Right.
or a school function or anything like
There
that.
was a relative.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to thank whoever pulled over someone last week and brought the kid home. He was past curfew, and they were bashing the officer. I want to commend you guys, because I would much rather have you bring my son home. It's not going to happen with mine, though.
That's what we all say.
I drive these kids home. I pick up and I'm dropping this one off and that one off, because I know.
Thank you.
I gotta get my son home. So I can have a van full of 6 kids that I'm driving home. Their
Sure.
parents are sleeping or nowhere to be found. Right. But there was a lot of bad rap going that the police officers shouldn't have brought him home. They should have been doing the crime in the area. God bless them for bringing him home, because you know what? Somebody could have jumped him.
He could have been the victim of the crime, and it was prevented, yeah.
That is the crime in the area. If they're violating the curfew law, they're committing a crime. And the reason the curfews exist is because kids that age, if they're out that late, are they going to be victims of crimes or
Right.
offenders of crimes? Officers could send a summons
Warnings or.
to someone's house. There's like a series of things. I don't think we send too many summonses. It's after, I think, the third one. There's a
So they're like warnings that they get if they're.
yeah, you know, it could happen, but really the thing is, we want to get the kids home.
But don't you think it's better that they're bringing the kids home instead of to the police station?
Absolutely.
I have to go
Yeah.
pick up where, 50
Hey,
West and Wentworth?
listen, we don't want these kids in our, hey, the parents don't want them at home, we don't want them in our station. Come on.
But I do think you guys are doing a great job in this area, and it's hard, because there's a lot of teenagers, and you guys need more credit than these.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, I know the commander has got to go, and we appreciate you
Thank
taking
you.
the time to come in.
Thank you, folks. I appreciate it.